I was still agitated, aggravated, and angry at myself for not speaking up. Have any of you ever felt that way? So I did what I always did back then when I needed to silence my inner critic and push down my pain. "I'll take a grande bean and cheese burrito, please." I had that massive medicinal sucker unwrapped and in my hand before I was even out of the parking lot. No longer was I hearing "loser," "chicken," or "coward," because my focus had turned to the creamy concoction rolled into a warm, floured tortilla that was just about to go in my mouth when plop! Gooey bean and cheese all over my beautiful, stained peach suit, which, by the way, just happens to be 5 sizes larger than the one I'm wearing today. How many of us find ourselves saying yes when we really want to say no? How many of us are so good at taking care of others that we forget to take care of ourselves? How many of us end up frazzled and stressed out because we simply can't keep up with our endless to-do list? Here's the good news. Saying no is one of the most effective ways to reduce stress and gain control of our lives. Yet in too many women's lives, the only no in their vocabulary is still no problem. That is why with our time together, we're going to discover how to speak our truth, to say what we mean and mean what we say when it comes to saying no. We're going to talk about how to overcome power blocks to find the confidence and courage to speak our truth, how to say no to others in order to say yes to ourselves, and how to set limits and boundaries with demanding individuals so that we can create more time, energy, and sanity in our life. Sounds good? Well, that's good, because I've got you now, my pretties. Research suggests that women, in particular, pay an enormous price in their personal and professional lives due to an inability to be clear, direct, and assertive. What really bugs me is when people use the word assertive and aggressive interchangeably when they're completely different approaches to communication. The overbearing and insensitive individual who steamrolls over others, like what I said in my head to my boss. That's aggressive behavior, and it's extremely unhealthy. By comparison, assertiveness is clearly communicating your needs while still showing respect to others. It's a way to express ourselves without being labeled a itch, with a B. My personal definition for assertiveness is speaking your truth with both strength and sensitivity. During my programs, I ask the audience, why do you think that women who are smart and professional stop themselves from being assertive and saying no in their daily communication? No matter how many times I ask this question, I usually end up with similar answers. Some women don't say no because they don't want to disappoint others, make them upset or angry, or have to deal with any conflict or guilt that comes from speaking up. Others refer to the superwoman syndrome, which makes them feel like they should be able to handle everything and more. Still others talk about the disease to please, a genuine desire to take care of others' needs at a personal cost to themselves. So how do we begin to deal with these concerns? Well, if we're ever going to find the courage to speak our truth and learn to say no, the first step is to overcome our power blocks that stand in the way. There are 2 of them, and they travel together. The need for approval and the need to impress others by presenting a certain type of image. When you think about all the examples women share with me, they fall under one of those 2 categories.